Let's start with the clash in Newark we were just speaking about. Are lawmakers getting in the way of ICE operations when you see video like this?
Look, based on the video, he brought up a good point. The senator said, we don't have all the facts, but based on the video, it clearly looks like they're intervening in what ICE is trying to do, which it looks like they're breaking the law. This is what the courts are for. You get charged, you get arrested. Now you're going to go through the court proceedings and we're going to figure out whether you did or didn't break the law.
A similar incident happened in Massachusetts when ICE agents were attempting to take a mother who was holding a baby into custody. A crowd of 25 bystanders, they came in, they intervened. That led to 2 arrests as well. Do you expect more incidents like this to break out as the administration ramps up its deportations, really not just here in the Northeast, but around the country?
Well, first of all, I think they should have arrested far more than 2 of those people. Most of those people were touching agents, intervening. They should have been arrested. We need to send a strong message. You can't get in the way of law enforcement. This is a very dangerous job that we do, and we can't watch our backs at all times. And when you have a crowd of people coming and grabbing officers and intervening, it is a dangerous situation. They're luckily they didn't get hurt, but I think more of them should have been arrested because we've got to send a message. Let ICE do their job. That's what the courts are for. We can work out all the rest of it later.
Switching gears, a Tufts University doctoral student was released this week. She was taken by federal agents. She spent 6 weeks in a Louisiana ICE detention facility. Now, the student's arrest came a year after she co-wrote an op-ed in a campus newspaper. She called out Tufts University's response to the war in Gaza. Sheriff, we're seeing more and more student protesters being targeted by the administration. I'm thinking of Mahmoud Khalil as well. What type of precedent is this setting for freedom of speech in our country?
Well, are they being targeted or are they doing things they probably shouldn't do?
I mean, do you think writing an op-ed is something she shouldn't have done? I mean, worth spending 6 weeks in a detention center?
Student visas have very strict restrictions. They also give very broad authority to DHS to be able to act on those student visas. And I wouldn't expect you to go to somebody else's country and start causing problems with their government. And then one of those pieces is you cannot side with terrorist organizations. So they look into this and they may say, well, is she siding with Hamas? That is a terrorist organization. So it's not so much about free speech. They understand that when they take these visas on, they don't have all the rights and authorities that a citizen of this country would have. They have restrictions placed upon them, which are a little bit more restrictive than what the Constitution would normally provide. When they take those visas, they understand the risk of that. I don't know all the details to this, but imagine going to somebody else's country, getting in trouble, and then turning around and suing the very country. She could simply just go home if she doesn't like it.
I've heard that sentiment from many, many people. I know there are a lot of Americans that agree with you. Let's move on to the Trump administration. They're considering trying to suspend habeas corpus. That, of course, is a legal proceeding allowing people to challenge their detention in courts. Here's what top aide Stephen Miller said their decision will depend on just how courts will respond to this. I'll talk to you on the other side, Sheriff.
Well, the Constitution is clear, and that, of course, is the supreme law of the land, that the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus can be suspended in a time of invasion. So I would say that's an option we're actively looking at. Look, a lot of it depends on whether the courts do the right thing or not.
Do you think this is necessary for immigration efforts? Do you think they could be successful in accomplishing this?
Yeah, look, I think the left is trying to bog the system down by forcing everybody to go through a hearing before they're removed from the country. Where were they to force people to go through a hearing to come into this country? If they want due process, they've got to ask for it on the front end too. Look, the reality is we cannot afford, we don't have the ability, the courts, the judges, to be able to process a court hearing for every single one of these people. I think he's exactly right. You got to give the executive branch the ability to go out and remove a lot of these people. And look, they're targeting criminals right now. And we have left politicians, Democrat politicians, championing people that are documented gang members, accused of wife beating, a lot of other things. I think they've got to stop hitching their wagon to the less favorable of these groups.
Sheriff Mark Lamb, thank you so much for joining us this Sunday.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.